What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Thursday, March 4th. Now be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comment section who are your favorite options on this slate. Who are your favorite contenders that I have? Who are your least favorite contenders of mine? Let me know in the comment section. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Bam Adebayo, Teo Maledon, Malcolm Brogdon, Lou Dort, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Who will be my favorites? My top 5 plays for today? It's time to find out. First up, number 5, I'm going to Devin Booker, and I hope he is salty over that ejection. Shooting guard eligibility, 7,600, projected for 41, goals 49, optimal lineup 24% of the time. So 1.2 fantasy point per minute guy in this spot because it's a huge pace-up matchup against Golden State. They gain 3 possessions over their averages. That's about as big as it's going to get unless they're facing the Washington Wizards. So that plays directly into Devin Booker's hands. 35% usage, 28 points, 5.5 assists, 4 boards. You need to get there on scoring, but there aren't too many guys in the league that I would want to get to on scoring more than Devin Booker. 7,600 is just not a problematic price tag whatsoever for the upside that he has, especially in a pace-up matchup. At number 4, we're going back to NERLENS NOEL, but pay attention. He is now center eligible on FanDuel. No longer power forward eligible. 5,500, projected for 35. The goal is 41. He's in the optimal lineup 25% of the time. He's still playing monster minutes. I'm giving him 36, just shy of a fantasy point per minute. With 11% usage, 9 points, 10.5 rebounds, 4.5 stocks. I'm projecting him to block 3 shots and have a steal and a half. This is where you're getting your value from for NERLENS NOEL. If he can get the blocks, you're happy. If he can't, you're probably not all that happy. Slight pace down spot against the Pistons, but Pistons are walking wounded. I don't expect to see Jeremy Grant today. I don't know if we see Josh Jackson. I think this feels like a really nice spot for NERLENS NOEL, but it is different now. Him being at center instead of power forward changes the value equation tremendously. Still love getting to him though, obviously, because at 5,500 for those minutes, he's basically impossible to pass up on. Straight back to him again today. De'Aaron Fox, point guard eligibility, 8,300, projected for 46, goal is 51, optimal lineup 26% of the time. Slight pace down spot against Portland, but I think the matchup actually does feel pretty good. I think he and Dame can get into a bit of a rhythm. 1.25 fantasy points per minute, 30% usage. He's playing big minutes. I've got him in for 37. These guys, the Kings are running an 8-man rotation as of late. That is insane. 25 points, 8 assists, almost 5 rebounds, steal and a half, plus a half block. So we're talking 2 stocks. I'm getting to De'Aaron Fox a lot lately, but a 1.25 fantasy point per minute guy playing 36 minutes, I don't know how else you do that. 8,300 is about where I think he should be priced. I think that if his run of play continues, he probably ends up in like the $8,600, $8,700 range. And I think there's enough value on that slate on this slate that he's pretty easy to pay up for. So to get to De'Aaron Fox again on back-to-back nights, I'm happy to do it. Now, honestly, I expected Paul George to be my number 1 contender today, but value is taking over. Shooting guard eligibility, just 7,900. Questionable tag on Kawhi Leonard, and if he's out, it's going to be nuts. 46 fantasy point projection. The goal is 50. He's in the optimal lineup 31% of the time. So you can see we took a step up in tier. He's back to full minutes, so 36 minutes at basically 1.3 fantasy points per minute. 30% usage, 26, 7, and 5.5. But here's the biggie. The Clippers are taking on the Wizards. This is a monster pace-up spot. They gain 4.2 possessions over their average. This is as good as it gets from a matchup standpoint. Tons of possessions, not a very good defense, and Paul George playing the full freight, potentially without Kawhi Leonard. I hope we don't get that news till relatively late, one way or the other. You got to get to Paul George. He is unquestionably the best mid-tier to pay-up option on FanDuel. He's just not priced correctly. 7,900 is ludicrous for the rates that this man possesses. So Paul George is number 2. Value's taken someone to number 1, but who could it be? Before we get to that number 1 contender, one last reminder, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get the updates to my sim results. I will be on the strategy show with Adam Kaufman today. And that's it. I'm not going to be on live before lock tonight. I thought I was going to be, but the powers that be have blessed me with the night off, and I couldn't be happier. So that's going to be it. No more contenders until Wednesday. We are off for the All-Star break. So make sure you're liking and subscribing and doing all that stuff. Do it extra today. And let me know in the comment section, of all of my contenders, who's your favorite and least favorite. And now the number one contender, Isaiah Roby, power forward eligibility, 4,600, projected for 28, goal is 38, optimal lineup 33% of the time. Oklahoma City's on a back-to-back, which means we don't expect to see Al Horford tonight, which means we see Isaiah Roby play about 29 minutes at roughly a fantasy point per minute. He's just underpriced for the days that Al Horford ends up out. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 2.5 assists, pace neutral matchup against the San Antonio Spurs team that's a little bit shorthanded at the very least. You got to go here, guys. He's power forward eligible. He would actually show up lower in this list if Nerlens Noel was still power forward eligible. But since Nerlens Noel has moved to center, Roby becomes the easiest way to save some salary at power forward and to save some salary clear across the board. So this is what we have to do. With Horford out, we go to Roby, the number one contender on today's slate. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Thursday, March 4th, the final day before the NBA All-Star break. Please enjoy your break, guys. Good luck tonight. Have a good couple days off of NBA DFS content. I'm going to rest up, recharge the batteries, and then we're coming back guns a-blazing Wednesday of next week with another edition of the Contenders.